So just a little disclaimer before this next video gets started. It's going to be a little bit chaotic, but just stick with it to the end, you'll see what's going on. So here we are, it's March of 2022, and I'm here with my 2015 Nissan Leaf. Now I haven't provided an update in a while, but I wanted to give everyone a little bit of a glimpse into how everything has been now that I'm at 4 years into car ownership of the Leaf, and it is now 7 years old. It's at a little bit over 66,000 miles, and last Halloween, so a little bit ago, I actually did a little bit of a range test with the Leaf to see how it would perform in a mix of city and highway driving. Unfortunately, between then and now, I've been sick on and off. I think I had the plague for a little while, and yeah, things have just kind of not fallen in place as far as me getting out a video. But here we are, March of 2022, like I said, and I just wanted to give everybody an update. So thanks everyone for watching, and here we go. Alright, so driving the 2015 Nissan Leaf after having it for 4 years. Let's first talk about what's in the garage in total. We have this 2015 Nissan Leaf, 65,000 miles, going great, love it. It's a great commuter car, still drive it all the time, fantastic. What do we have next? This year we bought both a 2020 Chevrolet Bolt EV, which we thought about selling for a little bit whenever the recalls hit, but we actually really love the car. We've taken it on road trips. It's a fantastic car. Why get rid of it? It's great. We love it. I also got rid of the 2020 Tesla Model 3 and got a 2021 Tesla Model Y standard range. So it was a 6-mile difference in the range from my Model 3 to the Model Y. But except I got all the premium features. So it was a great deal. I got it for $39,900, which was the same price that I got my Model 3 for, and it was kind of a no-brainer, except I didn't like it. It rode way too rough for an SUV, and the steering in it was way too sensitive, and it just made it like kind of unpleasant to drive. Now sure, it had all the cool Tesla features, it was super fast, but there was something about the car, it just didn't do it for me. So what did I do? Well, this year, the used car market has been absolutely crazy, especially in the name of Tesla. And I sold the Tesla that I bought for $39,900 for $46,000. And it had 4,000 miles on it, it was in perfect condition. And yeah, I sold it. So whenever I sold that, I took that $6,000 extra that I got from selling back the car, and I used it to buy a 2021 Volkswagen ID.4. So right now we have the 2015 Nissan Leaf, the 2021 Volkswagen ID.4, and a 2020 Chevy Bolt in the driveway. This car I still primarily use for just commuting back and forth to work, going to get groceries and stuff like that. It's the car that gets all the dents in the grocery store parking lot. You know, we just kind of beat it up. I don't wash it. It has needed new tires for probably 20,000 miles. And yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic car, and we just use it for commuting around town. Okay, so what am I doing right now? Well, I'm going to take the Leaf, and I just charged it to 100%. I'm going to drive it to down to about 5%, and I'm going to basically just do some loops around the area near my house, and it'll be a mix between anywhere from 35-mile-per-hour roads up to 70-mile-per-hour interstates. So I'm just going to drive it from about 100% down to 5%, like I said, and going to see how far it'll go on a charge still now that it's 6.5 years old or so. So we'll see what it does. We left the house with a projected, I think 75 miles of range is what it said, and we'll see what we actually get out of it. I'll keep you updated. Alright, so let's talk about battery. We actually just crossed 75% and have gone 16.5 miles. So that's cool, but we're in the middle of the highway portion of this right now. I'm going to do a good bit of highway, and then after I get off the highway, it'll mostly be like between 35 and 55 mile per hour side roads. So yeah, we'll have a good balance of stuff. Now, around 40,000 miles on this car, I was DC fast charging it in the cold times, and that's when I lost my first battery health bar. And I have not lost another one since, but I do suspect that I'm close to being due for one, and might see that somewhere around 70,000 miles. But on a daily basis, I usually try to charge the car to 85%-ish. Just kind of depends on what I need. And yeah, I have barely fast charged this car since then. I've maybe had to do it one time, and I did it from like 10% up to like 35%, and then I drove home. So yeah, the battery's been good. It's held up well. It's you know, great during our hot summers, and then in the cold winters it loses a little bit of extra range, just trying to keep itself warm. But other than that, it's pretty reliable. Alright, we just crossed the 50% mark with around 42 miles of estimated range left, and we've covered 34 miles-ish. It's not too bad, not too great either, but we did spend that first portion out there on the highway, so that could really have an influence on what our estimated range is. Speaking of which, when I was out on the highway, it said that I had 44 miles of estimated range left, and I've gone at least 10 miles since then. So that just goes to show you that this car really likes the back roads, maybe doesn't necessarily appreciate the highways so much. So can I recommend this if your commute is mostly highway? Well, probably not. This car does use a considerable amount more battery to move itself around and keep itself warm in the winter time. And if your commute is mostly highway, that factor alone is really going to eat into it. So again, it's really great if your commute is, you know, like 20 miles round trip. Then it wouldn't even really matter if it was highway or not. It's really good if your commute is mostly back roads, and it'll do a good amount of highway too. It's just maybe not going to be as pleasant all year round. Alright, so I just crossed in 25% and I've gone 52 miles so far. It's estimating 19 miles of range left. I've been doing mostly back roads this past leg, which is why my efficiency has been a lot better than it has been. And I'll be doing a mix between 55 mile per hour and 35 mile per hour roads until this gets down to about dead. So we'll see where I end up. It's looking at about like 70 miles-ish if we ran it down to 0. Once this car gets down to 8 miles of range left, it starts to, well, it stops showing how much range it's estimating. And whenever the car gets below 5% battery, it stops showing you how much potential battery you have left in percentage. So you enter into the good luck phase, which is why I'm just going to probably get it as close to 5% as possible and call it there. But we'll see where we end up when we get back to the house. Alright, I have officially rolled over from 6% down to 5. I am at 69.9 miles as I'm looking down at it right now. And probably have about 2 or 3 more miles, probably 3 more miles until I get back to the house. Maybe 2. I don't know. We'll see in a second. But yeah, that'll be the end of that once we get there, and we'll go over everything that happened. Well, there it is. From 100% down to just a couple left. I was able to go 72.7 miles. I think originally the Leaf was capable of around 84, and that's probably mostly really efficient driving. So it has definitely lost like a little bit of battery. I definitely could have gotten closer to 80 miles had I not driven any highway. If the battery was maybe just a little bit warmer, which I actually added on an additional battery temperature bar by the time I got done with this. And I also drove it most of the time in B mode, which is the regenerative braking mode. And if you actually want the car to run as efficiently as possible, you need to take advantage of being able to coast as much as possible. And so I drove a good mix of it in D mode, but I primarily drive the car in B, so that's how I'm going to drive it and test it for the most part anyway. So yeah, here we are, 72.7 miles. My round trip commute back and forth to work every day is 26 miles. Even if I do some trips to the grocery store, whatever I need to do to and from work or after I get home from work, we're still not even getting anywhere close to 72 miles. So I anticipate that this car is going to be good for me for a while. Alright, so there we have it. A little bit over 70 miles in a mixed driving scenario. No, it's not scientific, but I think it really kind of shows what you would get in the real world with a oldish Leaf on a not so good original Nissan battery. And it's been a fantastic car. I honestly have no complaints. But the only thing is that the used car market, as we all know, is a little bit hot right now, and I'm planning on taking advantage of it. The truth of the matter is that I mostly, now as you can see over here, drive our 2021 Volkswagen ID4, and I absolutely love that car. It's become one of my favorite cars since I bought it in August, and honestly, it is what it is. So unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to the 2015 Nissan Leaf. Wait a second. That was a lie. We did not get rid of the Leaf. It's still with me, but let's talk about that. Well, here I am. It's June of 2022, and I'm sitting inside the Leaf. It's still very much part of the family. And to keep it short, I think that a lot of the reason that we decided to keep it was just because of general uncertainty. The used car market's crazy, gas prices are crazy, and I just started to wonder what would happen if something happened to one of our vehicles, or a family member or friend that needed some sort of, transportation or something. And I think just ultimately, just kind of drove us to just say, hey, let's keep it. Definitely still serves its purpose. I commute in it pretty frequently. We take it to the store all the time, run errands in it and all that stuff. And I still love it. It was my first EV, and I really don't see us getting rid of it now, especially with everything going on. Oh yeah, and if I hadn't mentioned already, just after about 65,000 some miles, my car actually lost its second battery health bar. So now it has 10 of 12. Still running great, still does exactly what we need it to do, and gets me back and forth to work on my relatively short commute, and runs errands and all that stuff. And currently, today, in the end of June, it is at 67,417. So we're doing great. I drive it all the time. Love it. So that's about it. Yeah, thank you everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be able to update you guys soon. Peace.